We are getting ready to go for Trackmania Pro League day number 1. And again, this will be with Nevermind, Razer, Lumar and Aurel. So we'll start off watching the Swedish sensation Razer, one of a few Swedish representatives of this league, the other being Lund, but we see an early victim of Peekaboo, and it is Lumar. You can see Lumar having a bit of trouble already, 2 seconds behind. So let's jump back up to Razer again in a 3-man battle for first place at the moment. You can see there's about 2 tenths that separate this full group there. Razer had to release a bit, cuts that inside really close though. And you can see both Aurel and Razer are going to be playing a bit of catch up on Nevermind here. So Aurel going for a bit of a wider line. Now let's see how that's working out for Aurel. Oh, someone just disappeared. Nevermind had a big crash on the freewheeling part. You can now see Nevermind having a lot of trouble, and he looks like he will be out of the fight for first place. But back focusing on Razer for round number 1. You can see he has a lead over Aurel. What's happened to Aurel? Let's investigate. And we see here Aurel has dropped back by about 7 tenths of a second. Razer going really wide there though. Will he still manage to get the risky finish again? A big jump here. And Razer, ooh, just gets in. And no more, with actually hitting the bottom of his cart on the edge there. And all players managed to get in the finish without much of a problem, with Razer securing 10 points, Aurel securing 7. Nevermind 5 and Lumar 3. So the Molotovs and Marshmallows players having to be satisfied with the bottom positions here. Lumar of course hasn't managed to get as much training in, he was saying on eve of our last match, participating with myself. So a bit of an expected kind of participant at the bottom there, but Nevermind looking good early on, at least in this round. Let's focus on Nevermind this round. So you can see here at this section he is again in the lead, looking to get a good amount of points in the bag in this round. You can see he goes for a more inside line there. Razer goes more outside, but Razer, as you can see, the different approaches coming out from these players. Nevermind gets a bit of airtime there. He went too inside, so he didn't give himself enough room to get round the corner before the elevation changed. So as you see, Nevermind gets a bit of airtime, crashes on the outside, and as a result Razer takes over the lead. But where's Aurel? Aurel is 4.2 seconds behind, whereas Lumar's even further behind. Razer goes for the safe finish, as he will finish, no problem. Nevermind gets a risky finish. And whereas Aurel, he gets in, no problem, safe finish, and Lumar does not manage it. So Lumar being a victim of Peekaboo once again, unfortunately for him, so he stays on 3 points, whereas you see Nevermind and Aurel on equal footing on 12 points, whereas Razer is in the lead on 20 points. So let's focus on Lumar. Let's see, give him a bit of support, see if he can get through and get a good round on the board here, get some confidence going. Despite his lack of preparation here, Lumar is of course a great player. Be looking to see some good things coming out from him perhaps in the later stages, when he manages to feel a bit more comfortable in these maps. And we see here he's certainly sticking with the crowd, side by side with the points leader at the moment being Razer, although Nevermind again with an early lead. See, Nevermind does seem to do the start of this track relatively well, although Lumar has now been overtaken by Aurel. Of course, the Frenchman looking to secure some points himself, and let's check out his perspective as he does look to battle back into the fight of Razer and Nevermind. 2 tenths of a second between the top two, and it looks as if Aurel is falling further and further behind, but it can all come down to the finish. We'll get a bird's eye view here as Nevermind fails. He crashes big at the end, and Razer, will he go for the risky one? He does. Big jump there from Razer. He does it well. A 106.8 coming out from him to secure another 10 points. 7 for Aurel, 5 Lumar, and 3 for Nevermind. He does nevertheless secure some points despite his massive crash there at the end. So round number 4, will Razer secure the perfect map here, or will we see it being denied by either of Aurel, Nevermind or Lumar? So let's check out Aurel for this round then. See here, this time it's Razer at the back, but he's just gone for a lot of speed there. You can see he's now up to second place actually. Overtakes Aurel and Nevermind crashes, so Razer goes straight from the back of the pack all the way up to the top. And he does take quite a bit of a lead here over these following players, 2 tenths of a second. Nevermind is not so much out of the race at the moment. You can see in the timings board he is only 0.4 behind, so let's switch to him and see what catching up Nevermind can do. He'll want to keep Aurel within his grasp. Aurel is only 4 points ahead of him. Nevermind loses a bit of speed there, he gets a bit too many gears down there, and Nevermind goes too close to the right hand side there, has a big crash there. So let's see if Lumar can do anything in his pursuit of Aurel. Can he do Nevermind any favours and deny Aurel possible points? Razer a bit all over the place coming through to the end. Lumar goes quite wide there, and is he going to make it? Lumar, oh, can he do some tricksters to get in? Turtle Lumar, let's go. And he makes a nice 3 points for Lumar. Stunt points for the man himself. And we do move on to Respect, the map of Skadi, my old friend. Hello Salman, nice to see you guys. Kawi, afraid it didn't go too well. I was a few points behind Tween in the end, but he got finalist and he won the next round. So Troll took first place, of course, and Lumar got fourth. So I did at least get 1 point. I can be satisfied with that, I suppose. So this map, we've seen a lot more mistakes come out from players on this map. Of course, Peekaboo and Respect, I'd say, are a bit more of the tricky maps of the selection for these players. Hey Cap, good job in getting the first place in your match, man. I heard about that. Quite stern competition, I'm happy for you. Or perhaps a way to say it as well, Skadi, would be... Right, hold on. There you go, incredible. Yo Shorty. Watch Lumar taking us through Respect. And Lumar finishes 108.4. So let's see if Lumar manages to at least get a good few times on the board. I mean, you can. This is one of the sort of maps where you can almost count on a mistake from any of the other players. So we'll see if Lumar manages to salvage some points here. In the end, he has only 9 points behind. Nevermind. So let's see what he can do here, and we'll spec him for the first round. Razer having a bit of trouble going over the booster there, actually, and does sacrifice some ground on the rest of the pack. But you see here, jumping straight back into the fray as the man himself. All players get through the early tricky section without much of a problem. Lumar going a bit more inside there, and Razer does touch on the outside of that left hand turn, so perhaps no more of a perfect match for Razer. Nevermind as well dropping down. So this is what I was saying. You can almost safe these rounds on this map and count on your opponents making mistakes, as it's only Aurel and Lumar left up at the top here. Aurel has a bit of a blunder going through there, going a bit too close to the right hand side wall. And we see Lumar's actually taken over the lead, so much needed points for Lumar, but he does touch on the outside. So Aurel does have the chance to secure this round. Nevermind was closer behind, but you can see in the timings board Nevermind's made a mistake as well, so let's check from his perspective and see if we are getting any closer. He's right behind his teammate here. Is he going to do him any favours, or is he going to ruthlessly snipe the position? He will not. He got close though. Half a tenth of a second between Lumar and Nevermind, but he does drag himself a bit closer. 10 points though for Aurel, and big blow to Razer's lead there, cut from 14 down to 4 due to his non-finish there. So let's check out him on this map, see what if we can identify what's going wrong for Razer. Lumar going a bit wide there, he does kind of safe it. So he does manage to get himself back on the track, but he has lost a lot of time, as you can see in the timings board in the bottom right. 1/3 of a second behind. So we see here the battle has almost been completely split up. We've got Nevermind and Razer fighting for top 2 positions. We've got Aurel and Lumar in the bottom 2. If Razer's just looking at points here, I mean, he can afford to save a little bit. Nevermind's 15 points ahead, sorry, 15 points behind, but not good enough there for Razer. Unfortunately, does clip the wall there. So you can see here, Nevermind with the opportunity to take home 10 points, get himself back in the conversation for the top 2 positions, of which I'm sure he'll be looking for. as of course with such a calibre of opponent in Pro League, points like these will be hard to come by, especially second and first places, so I'm sure Nevermind will be doing what he can. Let's see if he goes just for the safe finish, as he should. Doesn't need to risk it, no one's close enough to overtake him. And we do see there Aurel getting third place, and Lumar doesn't manage to finish, so Lumar now drops very far behind at the moment, 17 points behind Nevermind at the moment. And let's watch out on Nevermind here. 6 points behind Aurel, 12 behind Razer. So, is this map going to be the marquee of Nevermind's comeback into the top positions? He gets a good start here, does Nevermind. Nice inside line, a lot of speed going through there as well. So, looking good in the start of this round. 0.3 ahead of his closest opponent. Nevermind showing he's here to play, but playing around a bit too much there, and he does touch on the outside there, perhaps going a bit too risky there when he didn't really need to. Had a good lead, he could have afforded to safe there. Razer going a bit wide though, but he does manage to get it back on track and keep the lead over Nevermind. Let's see how the players go through this section. No, neither Nevermind or Razer making a mistake. We'll stay with Nevermind here. Aurel's closing in though. Razer makes a slight mistake going over the jump. If he's released a bit, I'm not sure. But now Nevermind's into the fray for the first position. Nevermind goes too wide though. Big crash for Nevermind, and it does not look as if he will finish that round. Razer, with the risky finish, gets a 107.5. Aurel manages to get in there in second. Lumar third, and a big blow to Nevermind's hopes for good points there, as he goes from challenging first to getting no points whatsoever. So Nevermind stays rooted on 35 points, allowing Aurel to extend his lead over him by 13. And let's check out the Frenchman here in the last round of Respect. Oh, showing the map a bit too much respect there though. Kind of bottomed out a bit there. Had to release just to avoid a tricky line there, but speaking of tricky lines, they're going through that corner can be quite tight. Nevermind's feeling the effects of it, and Respect has claimed another victim. Once again, it's a double kill on Nevermind almost, as that's 2 rounds. He has had a big kind of fail, which has put him down to last place. Lumar having some trouble going through that long left-hander there. And now it's just down to Aurel and Razer for the top 2 positions here. Razer with a good line going through there, keeps himself in good speed going through this fast section now. And nice and tight there for Razer. Aurel still in second place, but not managing to keep up with it, Razer, as much as I'm sure he would like, but I'm sure these guys will take the positions they're in for some easy points here, with Nevermind and Aurel nowhere to be seen. Safe finish for Aurel. Let's see where Nevermind is. He is at least in 4th position. Will he get there? He will, so he at least gets 3 points on the board. So it's getting a bit split up here, as we can see. 10 points between Lumar and Nevermind at the bottom on 28 and 38, but it's a big gap up to Aurel on 55 points, I believe. If my maths is correct, that's 17 points between the 2 players, and then Razer extending a small advantage of 12 at the top. So let's see what they can do in Spectre. The MD point map, again, this has quite a few tricky sections for the players at the start and at the end. We've seen one of the key victims of that last match was my dear self. I ruined the first place by crashing the end because I didn't aim right. You can get airtime quite easily, or get a slide going over the ram. You can get a no drift quite easily here, but we'll see a lot of players, I'd imagine, getting picked off here. It's quite a tight angle you need to get going through the side of that CP, and you want to keep yourself as much speed as possible, as these are kind of long flowing turns going into straights and things like that. As well here, you want to avoid any airtime you can, but again, taking as much speed through here. As you can see, Aurel got the advantage as a result. You can get a no drift quite easily going up here as well. See, Nevermind avoids that, and as well, you want to take as much speed through this corner as well, but it's a bit of a tricky part. You need to get through those 2 pillars, which can be quite quite difficult when you're going at some speed, I can assure you from personal experience. And of course this end can cause players a bit of problems, a bit of a tight little jump you need to do through there. And of course the end finish is no joke. Can adjust your line a little bit going over that ramp and between the gap, and there you go into the tricky finish. Or at least the closer finish rather. Well, it's a trickier one, I'm not sure. So let us see how it goes for round number 1 on Spectre. And let's see who the MD point map will reward and who it will claim first. We will check out Nevermind here, and Nevermind is the first victim along with Aurel. As it goes, Spectre starting us off with a double kill there. If only I had the kind of Quake annotations like double kill and all that crap, but now is not the time for that. Razer up in the lead here again. Let's see Lumar. Second place for Lumar. This will be good points if he can hold on to this. He'll want to get any sort of positions he can, as of course he's not managed to train as much for these maps, Lumar, so any sort of position, if he can even steal third from Nevermind in this match, would be a great achievement for him with the amount of time he's had to put in these maps. But we see Razer holding a dominating position up at the top in the first round. But again, the round is by no means over. You see Razer going a bit wide there, close to the poles. See if Aurel is going to manage to get a bit closer here. He's hunting down Lumar. Is he going to try and risk the end here? Get a bird's eye view of the battle here. Aurel's going for it. He's got a bit more speed. Lumar down in the jump a bit, and Aurel takes him 7 points. Gained by only 200ths of a second, and Lumar is not happy about that, but he does get himself some points on the board, and Nevermind doesn't actually finish at all. So let's check him out, see what he does on this track. We saw he had an early mistake last time. We'll see if this will be a repeat, if this will be deja vu for Nevermind, or if he will get himself back on the board. You see here, Razer's the one battling with Nevermind up here at the top early on. Nevermind gets himself through the tight section. Razer going for a more inside line here. Nevermind more outside, but you can see here he'll have much more speed going down into here, and he does overtake the first position. And good lines coming out from both of these players, but just tiny bit more speed for Nevermind, and Razer goes a bit too close to the right hand side there. You can see clipped a little ramp, and as a result he's lost a lot of time here. Whereas Razer, he is very far behind at the moment. Let's just quickly check. Razer will not finish this round. He is 8 seconds behind, so that's key points lost for Razer. Aurel might have sensed that, and Aurel's thinking he'll want to make up as much points as possible on Razer. See here, Nevermind going too wide though. He does crash, so he has to go for the safe finish, and that is a first place then for Aurel. So very lucky there for him, but I'm sure he'll be happy with it to no end. And again, Razer does not finish, so instead of a bigger points gap with Aurel getting second place, Nevermind done him a bit of a favour there. And he's now within 5 points of the top position, so only 5 points between them. Nevermind again going too close to the inside there. So let's check Aurel in his hunt of Razer, and he does catch his prey in that regard. He does overtake second place from the man himself, and Lumar is up in the lead here. The question is, can he hold it? He has a 0.2 gap over Aurel at the moment. You can see here he's a good section going through here. Lumar's holding himself in high esteem going through this track so far. Few mistakes, but at least in this round he's doing very well so far. With a good gap over Aurel still, 0.3 of a second now, but you see Aurel gets more speed on the downhill. We're putting Lumar under a bit of pressure. Lumar cracks under that said pressure, goes too wide, crashes into the cactus, and that is round over for Lumar. And looks as if Aurel's going to take the first position, and he will get much closer to Razer in points as a result. 107.98 from him. Razer getting second, Nevermind third. And Lumar does salvage some points for 4th place, but now the battle for 1st place is heating up. Only 2 points between the top two. I'm sure Razer will be glad to see the back of this track, especially with his performance on it, but nevertheless, let's see what he can do on it on this last round. We'll keep on Aurel's perspective though. Aurel and Razer are the ones to watch here. Aurel this time the one at the back of the pack. And Lumar falls victim to the tight section of the Spectre map. Right-hander through the side of the CP. RIP, rest in pepperonis for Lumar, but the round goes on and Aurel is falling further and further behind Razer here. Nevermind as well separating the two players, so this is good news for Razer. If he can take first place and have Nevermind as well deny Aurel further points, and that'll get him up to a 7-point advantage, which I'm sure he will be very excited at the prospect of that. Nevermind going a bit wide there, getting close to the cacti, but he does get through it, no problem. He does tip that there, going through it, and Aurel will overtake as a result. So another mistake coming out from Nevermind. Wait, what happened to Razer in the end? Razer's failed the end. What happened, Razer? Oh, he went too close to the left-hand side there, it looked, and he flipped going into the finish, crashed in, and does not get any points from that. So instead of extending his lead to Aurel, he instead relinquishes his lead to the man from Penguins, and is now 8 points behind. So it is now down to Legacy and Volante to see if Razer can claw back into the lead. He started off so well, but what happened there is the question. Let's see in the warm-up to see who looks best on Legacy. I'm sure Nevermind, as it's his map, will be looking to kind of defend his honour on this map. Let's see. Let's see the man himself take us through his own map. We see here only Lumar looking to get a good warm up in at the moment. If Razer finishes, flashbacks. He's doing Q justice then. Shout out to Shoulder. PTSD. Vietnam for Shoulder as just finishes in TMM. Look at Lumar here. He's not having the best of rounds here at the moment. As you can see here, Razer, despite making an early mistake, did manage to catch up in the warm-up, but we'll see what can be done. Good luck, have fun, being written in the chat by the players, and they're ready to go. This will most likely be the penultimate map, as the players will get close to finalist mode here, but 28 points is a magic number for Aurel to get into finalist mode, and Razer will be needing a bit more than that. I think it'll be 32 Razer needs. Of course he is capable, but we'll see if that will be the case. Round number 1 on Legacy. So let's see who strikes first. Let's see who gets the early points here on Legacy. See here, no big mistakes so far. It's a close round at the moment. There's 400s between the players. It's only Aurel dropping off at the back there a bit actually. See Lumar down here in 3rd place. Bit more inside, same kind of line I done there, but same for both of us, doesn't seem to work out that well. And we see here Aurel down at the back, but let's focus on the match up at the front. Nevermind and Razer battling for 1st and 2nd place here, but we've seen recently these two players quite susceptible to mistakes, so Razer looking to remain strong in 1st place here. Oh, but aforementioned mistakes does strike again. Razer fails nearer to the end and sacrifices the round to Nevermind, who has an easy finish, but he crashes the end. He does reach it, but Aurel just steals it at the end. Getting very lucky here with the end of these rounds as Aurel. Another 10 points going to him as a result of someone else's mistakes late on. So 102 points Aurel is on, and further extending his lead to Razer. So the question is the pressure mounting on these players? Nevermind really needs to mount his comeback if he's looking at the first 2 positions, and Razer needs to get this under control here. Needs to stop making mistakes, and that is not a good way to do it. Razer already, I'd say, about 3-4 seconds behind now as a result of that. So let's watch Aurel and see how this round is treating him. We see here Aurel currently in 3rd position, but does overtake Lumar with a nice corner there. You can see he gets a much better exit than Lumar there. More speed and a better angle, but now he has Nevermind to contend with. But a mistake from Aurel does allow Lumar to overtake him again and take 2nd place. So is that going to be what Aurel has to settle with, or will we see some more late drama in this round? We will get the bird's eye view from Lumar if 1st or 2nd positions will be compromised by the M&M players. You can see here Nevermind looks to be holding strong here, but he did crash in the Christmas trees, I think it was last time. And Lumar going wide, but just manages to get himself through the gap. Nice job there by Nevermind, securing 10 points there. Razer's definitely not happy. Lumar keeps Aurel at bay. So at least limited damage being done for Razer, but we need to contend with Nevermind possibly getting back into the picture for second place at least. But Aurel is not far away from finalist mode. He can secure it in these last 2 rounds here if he gets, I believe, a first and a third or 2 seconds. So anything less than that will not be good enough, or actually a first and a fourth. So 2 seconds, so he needs to at least be getting a good position here going forward. But if we focus on him here, as he is the person of interest at the moment, and he is currently in 3rd place at the moment. Razer this time in 1st place. Let's move up to Razer. Let's see how he plans to mount his comeback into this match. See here, Nevermind's here to challenge him though, so it means Razer can't relax. He can't afford to just safe this round. He needs to contend with another player being close to him, and actually now right next to him and in front of him now, so more pressure being added for both of these players. Pressure to risk for those precious 10 points here. Razer going for a lot of speed there. I'm not sure that's going to work out for him, but he's a bit too far behind Nevermind for it to make a difference there, and he does have to settle for the 7 points, but he will catch up to 2 over Aurel. So Aurel only goes to 112 points, so Aurel needs a 1st place here. 2nd place will not get him finalist mode. However, Razer does have a job to do if he's going to get back into this, especially Nevermind as well. Although I'm sure this is Nevermind's map if he wants to do it, but Lumar is out of the picture here, so it's just these top 3 players in a battle in a world of their own. And we see here Nevermind is at the back. He is in the 3rd world, the 3rd position, sorry, not 3rd world of this round. But Razer, that's certainly not what he will want here, I can imagine. Not really a good place to be for Razer at the moment. 4th position, I can imagine he might be feeling a bit stressed, bit of pressure there coming into play for him, despite having such a great start in this match. But he really needs to step it up here. He doesn't want to be up against the wall with finalist modes. That's not a good position to be in. Lumar might be doing him a favour here, at least catching Aurel, doing some damage limitation, but again, unless Nevermind makes a mistake here at the end, Aurel still will not be on finalist mode here. But of course, Razer looking to be making himself as comfortable as possible. But as I said, this is not the way to be doing it. But good job there by Nevermind. Fantastic performance on this map. I think that's 3 first places he at least got. So he's now up to 94 points as Nevermind. So the full points, 59 for Lumar, 94 for Nevermind, 102 for Razer, and 119 for Aurel. But it is now down to Volante, the Shorty, and Kiesler map. So let's see what the players managed to do here. We'll take a look at the warm-up. The match will most probably be decided on this map. So we'll see what we've got to look forward to with the players warming up. Can be a bit of a tricky map here, but is at least significantly faster than most, it must be said. Let's see, at least it looks like all the players are having trouble again in the warm-up. This section as well, you saw causing a lot of players some trouble at times, especially in warm-ups. You need to be able to make that jump or you are out of the round. So the later sections of this, you need to be taking as much speed through these kind of long left corners as you can. I mean, it's a bit difficult to set yourself up with some speed due to the kind of tight section with the poles. And the end as well, you want to make sure you don't crash into the finish. Seen a few players doing that, of course. I've done it in my warm-up, I believe. And times you'll be looking at for the players, you want to be seeing players get within kind of high to mid 107s. He'll be good times. Anything lower than a 107.5 is a good time. Very good time coming out by these players, but let's see what they can manage. We will check out Aurel, our current points leader for this round. Again, all he needs to do is finish this and he will be on finalist mode, but of course he'll be wanting to deny his opposition as much points as possible, but doesn't even look like he needs to do that job, as Razer, his key opponent, has already fallen down early on and he is quite far behind already. So perhaps Razer feeling the pressure mounting, which fair enough, it might put Aurel out of his grasp, but it means as well Nevermind's got the chance. He's got the chance to get closer and closer back into this match. But it is an M&M board up at the top two positions here. Lumar, Nevermind hogging first and second place. Aurel has a bit of a problem going over that though. He might allow Razer back into the battle for third place here. This is not good for Aurel. So let's check out the battle up for the top two positions though. It's still important for Nevermind, of course. He'll be willing to risk to get those 10 points away from Lumar. Let's see how he'll manage it. Good end there by Nevermind there. Lumar's going to manage to do anything at the end. He does risk it, go for a bit more speed. Nevermind doesn't get the engine off though. Oh, Lumar really risked the end there. And we didn't get to get them in the end. But Aurel pipped Razer by 0.1 of a second. So Aurel actually is on finalist mode now. And Nevermind is 1 point behind Razer. So we do not want Cam 1. But let's see if Razer or Nevermind will manage to deny Aurel, and let's check from Razer's POV. No mistakes going through the start from any of these players, but I do see Aurel is not in the position he wants to be. He is in last, although he was until Nevermind made that mistake. But still, Lumar and Razer are here. Lumar had to make an adjustment there because he had a bad angle going into that, whereas Aurel though, he's still behind Lumar. Big mistake there from Aurel. You need to go under the CP actually. Lumar fails that. I do not think he will make the jump. Oh, he does actually. There's this kind of safer route there. I didn't even notice that. But now Razer's in a commanding lead here at the moment. What he should be doing here is he should be full safing this round, getting himself 10 points on the board, getting a bit of momentum going again, and seeing what he can do to get himself back into the fight at the top. Lumar perhaps lagging out here. Nevermind going to take second place, at least damage limitation between him and Razer. But there we go, good job there by Razer, and he does secure himself a 107.9, and he does get the first place and 10 points to go along with that. So Lumar, and I've dropped my controller, Lumar does look to have lagged out at the moment. I'm not sure, but we will see. At least he seems to be driving. Yep, he is driving at least, so I just can't see him on track for some reason. Not sure what's happened, but until he lags out I suppose we won't know. And we see here no more finalists to speak of at the moment. 115 for Razer, 111 for Nevermind, only 66 for Lumar at the moment, so they'll certainly get a chance in this round. But Nevermind just kissed his chance goodbye. He needed first place to get himself the finalist mode here. Razer only needs third place, but he needs to deny Aurel in this round, due to, of course, Aurel being on finalist mode here. Aurel going for the inside line here. Razer will have more speed, but he's 0.3 behind. Going to need to risk that here. What can Razer do in the end? Not going for a lot of slides there, going for as much speed as possible, but he does have to make an adjustment there, unfortunately for Razer, and he does look to be out of this round. Lumar does secure it, and Aurel, sorry, does take first position. Lumar, I'm not sure what's happening here. If he'd lagged out, I'm assuming he'd be gone by now, but here we go. Nevermind and Razer fighting for the remaining positions. Again, Nevermind will need 2 first places in a row here unless Lumar manages to do anything. And here we are. Nevermind is currently in the lead though, but Razer's not too far behind. You can see here there's only a small gap between these players, 1.5 of a second. See, Nevermind having some problems going through this section earlier, but does manage to get it better this time, although Razer's catching up, going through that kind of long left-hander, going into the loop. And 0.06 of a second between these players. Razer going more inside here, he wants this second place, angry that he wasn't able to beat Aurel here. Where's Nevermind though? Let's check him out. Nevermind in second position here at the moment. He does crash though. Tried to go a bit more inside. It did not work out from Razer. Just needs to save the end here and it will be his round. Great time there, a 1:07.4. And GG, Razer gets second, and that is the match over. So, Aurel first place, Razer second place, Nevermind third, Lumar fourth. So, there we go. That is the match over for here. Aurel, of course, I'm sure will be very satisfied with his performance. A first and a second place coming out of two relatively difficult matches, of course. And that is the match over though, as I said. Now the players will move on to their separate matches. I believe they will have more matches to do today. I will have one more as well that I will be casting later on, but otherwise than that, guys, that was Aurel, Nevermind, Razer and Lumar.